So while we have this shape going on over here that made us some flames and a leaf and all of that, we're going to come over here. We're going to look at it like it's a water drop. I'm going to make a big one, but usually you don't use them very large. And again, you got symmetry going on. And you can do it freehand like that. You can also do it by making a circle. It's pretty nice and round, bringing a couple of parentheses up that are turned inward. Instead, they're back to back instead of how they usually are. And you get pretty darn thin up at the top. You don't have to come to a point unless the drop has been falling for a long time, and then it would. But if it's dripping off of something, it can have just a little higher side, a little lower side. And you clean this up, and you get rid of that right there. And you have a water drop, or a drip, or a drop of anything. In our color stage, I would be showing you a great way to paint a water drop with its highlight and stuff, and it really is nice looking. But this shape is a flame over here and a water drop over here. Make them small, and they are rain. And you have a lot of occasion for that, really, in sketchbooks, because you talk a lot about the weather. And this just indicates rain, but still looks like a kind of a cute little spot drawing. Okay, let's turn it upside down and start with our circle here. And then our parentheses. And we're not going to make them very long this time. We're just going to go that far. And then we're going to come down straight. That's not straight yet. It will be when I straighten it out. And make this kind of a stick. And then we're going to bring a line up here, because now it's like a square stick. And we're going to make a mark like that. And yeah, what is it looking like? And you'd have a kind of a color to this part right here, and this would be white. And this is a match. And this is a really good icon too, because you can use it for all kinds of ideas, like setting fire to an idea, or lighting a candle. You can have matches laying around in a spot illustration with a candle. And then if we made this a little skinnier, it's still upside down. We just bring it in like this. And we give it it just kind of fuzzes out here, and we give it a straight, skinny little stick. And then we put one down here, try to match it as best we can. What have you got? You've got a Q-tip. Why would you ever want to draw a Q-tip? Well, I use Q-tips in a lot of art things that I do, and I would want to explain. So that would be one way. Another cool thing about this shape is if we put it right side up like this, and we have it come to a tip, and then put a little collar on it. And a handle. We have a pointed round paintbrush. And one of the things that I really like to do is to put paint on the paintbrush, and then have a color drop or two dripping from it. Just for fun. And sometimes I just drip it right off the page. Sometimes I'll make a little puddle at the bottom. Puddles are kind of weird, but they're kind of just shaped like a puddle. And now you have a whole spot illustration of a paintbrush with paint dripping off of it. And finally, we can take this shape and we can make it large. and round, and we can come down in the neck like this, and we can just put a little rounded bottom on it here. And then we're going to put a little row of parallel lines here. Doesn't even have to be too much. I'm making this up as I go, of course. And I'm just put one more. You know where we're at with this, right? This is a wonderful icon. And then you have like, and this is the old-fashioned kind because I just like the old-fashioned kind. That's the icon. Nobody's going to not know what it is because you got all your coils wrong or something on the new kind. And then there's a little doodad here, which is the connector. And you have a light bulb. And a light bulb is a great icon. It stands for ideas. It stands for enlightenment. It stands for lots of stuff. It stands for electric power. The interior in the old-fashioned way sort of went like that. And I love those old-fashioned bulbs that they still have the center like that. But that's how I still always draw it, because that is kind of the iconic way of doing it. And you can do, I've seen wonderful things done with light bulbs and turn them upside down and plant a little garden in them. Or I did one where this was a plant and it was a symbol for green energy. But anyway, that same shape gets you a whole lot of mileage. So I am going to clean up and ink, and then I'm going to come back, and I won't have all the color done. What I'm going to do is step through our spot illustrations and talk about choosing the best water media method for coloring small pictures like this and not making a mess.